Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with the final episode of Game of Thrones. Last time on Game of Thrones, we had the Bells, the final confrontation between Daenerys Targaryen and Cersei Lannister, in which we attacked King's Landing, and the people of King's Landing surrendered, despite Cersei's, wish not to surrender, basically. But the people of King's Landing surrendered. Unfortunately, Daenerys burned the city anyway and killed so many innocent people when she didn't need to. Cersei did die, along with Jaime. Jaime also killed Euron Greyjoy before he died. The Hound and the Mountain are dead after their great fight. And yeah... our queen may have gone mad. This is it. This is it. The final episode of Game of Thrones. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments, but that doesn't apply anymore. All that remains is Daenerys and Jon. And Jon did not approve of what Daenerys had done. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see who ends up on the throne, the Iron Throne. And with that being said, let's get into the final episode of Game of Thrones. Here we go. Yeah, King's Landing is, it can't get itself up. I mean, happens to all guys, but, oh my gosh. This whole place is just ruined. Jon and Davos, too. It wasn't supposed to end like this. What people? What? Oh God. She's gonna take over the world. She doesn't want to stop at the Iron Throne. She wants to go further.
I freed my brother. And you slaughtered a city.
Yeah. He's done.
Zirineja Katas.
You're up, Jon.
She saw her dragon shot out of the sky.
And she burned down a city for it.
Ah, it's easy to judge when you're standing far from the battlefield.
Would you have done it?
Yeah, would you, Jon?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
You wouldn't have done it. They surrendered.
Say, because you don't want to betray her.
Love is the death of duty. Maester Aemon said it a long time ago.
Aemon Targaryen.
Sometimes duty is the death of love.
Go on then. Do your duty.
Shield that guards the realms of men.
Oh. Hey, Drogon. Were you just sleeping there? Was that it? Is this ash or is it snowing? It may be snowing. It is winter after all.
You can forgive all of them. Make them see they made a mistake. Make them understand.
Give them another chance.
The world we need won't be built by men loyal to the world we have.
The world we need is a world of mercy. It has to be.
And it will be.
After I killed them all.
It has been from the beginning, since you were a little boy with a bastard's name. And I was a little girl who couldn't count to 20. We do it together.
Oh, John.
We bring...
Oh, John. He ended it. Oh, it's just like X-Men. I think someone could feel that. Johnny, you're not fireproof. Oh, it's just like Lion King. No. The throne. He's destroying the Iron Throne. Oh my gosh, I was right about it being a goo. Aegon's Iron Throne is gone. Bye, Drogon. What the fuck was that? What? Of all my predictions, I didn't think that would be the one that happened. Where are they going?
We need justice. Jon Snow cannot go free.
So now it's a question of what happens to Jon.
For you to... Jon committed his crime here. His fate is for our king to decide. Or our queen.
We don't have a king or queen.
Yeah.
You're the most powerful people in Westeros.
Decide a new one.
Choose one.
And I like to think my experience has led to some small skill in statecraft and an understand.
Please sit.
Yeah. Not you.
There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story.
Huh.
And who has a better story than Bran the Broken? Who better to lead us into the future?
Bran has no interest in ruling, and he can't father children.
Good. Sons of kings can be cruel and stupid, as you well know.
Huh. Yeah.
This will never torment us. From now on, rulers will not be born.
But
They
selected.
will be chosen. Will you lead the Seven Kingdoms to the best of your abilities from this day until your last day?
Why do you think I came all this way?
Whoa. He knew that it was gonna
Brandon
happen.
of House Stark.
But tens of thousands of Northmen fell in the Great War, defending all of Westeros. And those who survived have seen too much and fought too hard ever to kneel again.
But
The
a
North
northern
will remain
king.
an independent kingdom, as it was for thousands of years.
Huh.
All hail Bran the Broken. First of his name, King of the Andals and the First Men. Lord of the Six Kingdoms.
Huh.
And protector of the realm.
Lord of the Six Kingdoms. All hail Bran the Broken. I did not see that coming.
You will be my hand.
Huh.
No, Your Grace. I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want to do
I
that.
want to be king.
He deserves justice.
He just got it. He's
Huh.
made many terrible mistakes. He's going to spend the rest of his life fixing them.
Huh. As Hand of the King.
So our new king has chosen to send you to the Night's Watch.
Huh.
There's still Night's Watch.
Yeah, does there need to
The
be?
world will always need a home for bastards and broken men.
Suliva Vajonath.
Aww. That makes sense.
What's west of Westeros?
I don't know.
No,
Arya's going west.
it's where all the maps stop. That's where I'm going.
Alright. Died protecting his queen. Bronn! And Davos! And Grandmaster Samuel Tarly.
What's this?
A Song of Ice and Fire. Archmaester Ebro's history of the wars following the death of King Robert.
Whoa.
I helped him with the title.
That's some meta shit right there.
I don't believe you're mentioned.
What? At all? What the fuck?
And Drogon? Any word?
He was last spotted flying east towards
Farther
the land.
away, the better.
Tuh. Yeah.
Perhaps I can find him.
Long may he reign.
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 That will improve.
I'm sure it will.
Aw. He's kind of him again. Ranger returning. I mean, what does the Night's Watch do anymore? We're cool with the wildlings. The White Walkers are gone. Part of the wall's broken anyway. Ghost. Oh. My poor boy who's missing an ear. Yay. Aww. Well, it can't be all bad. The Queen of the North. Oh my gosh. And that's it. I can't bring myself to stop it. I think I can make peace with that. I think I can make peace with that. Yeah. Yeah. I think I can live with this. I think I can live with this ending. There is still a House Lannister. House Lannister survived. House Stark survived. House Baratheon survived. House Targaryen is gone. House Tyrell has been gone. The Martells are still there, I assume. I assume that the Dornish prince was a Martell. Technically, House Tarly is still there, although Sam is now Grand Maester. There's a storm outside. That's always nice. I guess I ought to check the weather. Okay. I'm always concerned about whether or not I actually hit record. So sometimes, especially on such a big episode, I'm a little paranoid. But I did. I did hit record. The microphone is plugged in. We're all good. Alright. I'm actually on camera. I'm going to check the weather. Be sure I'm alright. It's May. Storms happen in May. I know you're watching this in July, actually. But for me, what day is today? May 28th. I'm recording this on May 28th. So, is this not going to load? Is that not happening? Is the weather's not going to load? You're going to make me sit here like an idiot? All right. Well, while that loads, I can live with this, which is so weird. After last episode, I was ready to leave this series like dead. I was willing to be an emotional wreck, which I still kind of am. But I was like, okay, Daenerys went bad, she went mad. Daenerys went mad and she's gone. And it's like, you know, she went mad and that's just that. And we're just going to have a horrible ending. It's going to be a bad ending to this, but honestly, wasn't too bad. Alright, the weather came up. Well, doesn't look too bad. It says that the skies are going to be clear. That's weird. Maybe it's just... Well, maybe it's happening right now and it's going to clear up. I don't know, that's weird. Anyway. I wonder how the books will end. Because I know people have told me that the books left off at Jon's death. That's where they left off. So that's season 6 onwards. That's all brand new stuff, basically. I wonder if the books will end the same way. I kind of hope they don't. I hope George R. R. Martin, goes his own way, does his own thing. Maybe it is the soul-crushing ending I expected. I don't know. What I do know is as soon as I get free time, I'm starting those books. That... Should put this back up. Oh, God. This thing's heavy. Okay, I didn't expect Bran to be king. That was a curveball they threw at me. I thought, if anything, they'd be like, well, hey, Gendry is a legitimate Baratheon. Why don't we just make him the king? That would have been something, but no, they went with Bran. Bran the Broken. Why do they gotta call him that? They never said King Brandon Stark. They never called him King Brandon Stark. They always just called him Bran the Broken. That's very interesting that they made him the king. Like, of all the people there, I did kind of think it would be Gendry because... he is a Baratheon. But no, they went with Bran. That's a very interesting choice. Alright. I think this is officially the most notes I've ever taken for Game of Thrones. This is so weird. I ended a series. I've never done that before. You know, Doctor Who's going on till the friggin' sun explodes. I've still got Stranger Things to go back to. Torchwood, I'm close, but I haven't finished yet. Or Sarah Jane. I guess I finished Hellsing, but that's a completely different series to this. Like, I can't do any speculation or anything. It's so weird. This is the end of the show. I did it. I caught up. I watched all of Game of Thrones. All of it? I watched it. I'm totally not going to put in the freaking thing. I'm totally not going to put in the meme, the Piccolo meme. Am I the only one who's, like, oddly satisfied with this conclusion? I'm so curious as to your thoughts on Season 8. You know, to put this into perspective, today, like I said, is May the 28th for me when I'm recording this. And today, on YouTube, Season 6, Episode 1, The Red Woman, just went up. I just posted that to YouTube. So I am so far ahead in these recordings now, but I am so curious as to what you guys think about Season 8. Maybe I should... I've been going back and forth on whether or not I was going to do a live stream discussion about Game of Thrones. I think I will. If so, well, you'll hear about it. If I was going to do that, which I think I want to, when would I do that exactly? Oh, that probably sounds horrible. Sorry. I'm rubbing this against my thumbnail. Probably sounds bad. Not a problem. I don't know. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll post when I'll probably post on Twitter or make a YouTube post for when I would do that. But yeah. I'm very curious because I know there's mixed opinions on... I know there's a lot of mixed opinions on Season 8, but I'm kind of satisfied. Even with Daenerys, which is hard to say. Alright. Let's talk about this episode, the final episode. We started off in the rubble of King's Landing. That was tough. Seeing everything that had happened. And going and having to... And basically looking her in the eye to see how confident she was about everything she had done. How satisfied she was. And honestly, how mad she was. Now, she wasn't like, you know, kind of kooky crazy, but she was mad. And honestly, with everything that had happened, when Tyrion just spelled it out, basically, it did make sense. But we'll talk about that in a sec. I like that she made Grey Worm Master of War, which was really just... makes sense. Basically, Lord Commander of all of her forces. That makes sense. Honestly, he kind of was already, so it's... I don't know. But I guess that gives him more command over the Dothraki. But he was already commander of the Unsullied, so... And then Daenerys saying that she wanted to conquer the world. Which makes sense. You know, and that's kind of the thing I always thought when she was in Essos. It's like, you know, yeah, if you conquer Westeros, that's fine, but then you also conquer Essos. You also conquered Essos, basically. So it's like, well, will you be Queen of the Seven Kingdoms or Queen of the Two Continents? And sure enough, she wanted to go all out. She did not want to stop there. She wanted to go take over the entire world. She wanted to free everyone under her rule, which is completely hypocritical. It's completely hypocritical that she wanted to free everyone in the world from tyranny by being a tyrant. It's honestly maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. But you know it made sense in her head. In her mad head, it made sense. Because she never viewed herself as a tyrant. When in fact, she was a tyrant. She was exactly what her family has always been, but she said that she was not. That's basically it. And it's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. Now, again, I still say that Daenerys is my favorite character in the entire show. Johnny Boy has been up there. Johnny Boy has definitely been up there, but out of everything, Daenerys has been my favorite right to the end. Because that's the thing, is that yes, she is my favorite character, and I love her. And that just makes the tragedy more powerful, basically. The tragedy is so... that's basically what all of this was. The tragedy of Daenerys Targaryen. It's what the entire show is. Right to the end, almost right to the end, was a tragedy of all these great houses. The tragedy of the Wheel. The tragedy of Westeros. But from that tragedy, we found a little bit of hope. That I can accept that. From this tragedy, we gained a little hope. And I can deal with that. Tyrion could not deal with Daenerys anymore and finally gave up the badge. No longer will he be Hand of the Queen. And sure enough, she captured him and was going to execute him. Interesting, she didn't execute him right on the spot. She actually imprisoned him first. And then we had that amazing talk between Jon and Tyrion about how, yeah, honestly, we let all of it go to her head. Her ego was boosted so much. Her ego was boosted so much that it became that it went mad. After everything she has done, all the violent acts she has done throughout the show, yet she's always tried to back off on it. She's always had that voice of reason, that voice to try to temper her. Whether it's Tyrion or Jorah or Barristan, all of them have all tried to bring her back. And finally, it just stopped working. Barristan, Jorah, dead. And Tyrion failed her too many times that she stopped listening to him, and all of that came back to her. We can only imagine what would have happened if Daario was still here, because Daario was basically the voice of violence for her. The no mercy voice. And through all of this, she walked into a fire with 3 stones and walked out unharmed with 3 dragons. Her destiny went to her head. It all went to her head, and it drove her mad. I can accept that. I can accept that. But perhaps, I don't know. Because the biggest thing is, her destroying King's Landing and all those people is one thing. But destroying them after they surrendered is still... Oh, that's still hard, man. But it's done now. And now here's the other thing. Now here's the next thing. Let's talk about the next thing. I wrote down Jon versus Dany. Jon versus Dany. And it wasn't that much of a versus. Because I was thinking, okay, Jon is alone in there. Like, yeah, there are Northerners and there's Davos and everyone out there. But right here, right now, there's the Dothraki. There's the Unsullied. And they're all with her. All the Dothraki are with her. All the Unsullied are with her, as we see through Grey Worm. Grey Worm really got to shine in this episode, I feel like. Just him watching his unbreakable loyalty to his queen. So I'm thinking, okay, what are we going to do? There has to be some sort of a battle then. But no. There was no battle. He just killed her. Before she ever sat on the throne. She never sat down. She touched it. She almost sat down. But then Jon came in. They started talking. And while he does love her, and she will always be his queen, he had to end it. And he did. And he killed Daenerys. He had to end it. He had to end it, and he did. Because as long as she lived, the war would never end. The war would never end. It would just rage across the world. It would go north. To a defiant north. Then it would go to the rest of the world. And it would never stop. So he ended it. He finally ended. He ended it. And then Drogon came in. Fuck. That had to be terrifying. Like, not only is it hard, it was so hard for him to do that and heartbreaking what he had to do. And then and Johnny Boy, and then his cousin came in. His dragon cousin. Who didn't kill him. Which I thought was interesting. That was definitely interesting. Drogon did not kill him. I thought he would. I thought it was like, alright, here we go. It's the end. Drogon's gonna kill him and then whatever. Drogon rules the Seven Kingdoms. I don't fucking know. Drogon's just gonna burn him. Nope. Drogon destroyed the Iron Throne. Once and for all. The thing we have been vying for the whole show. It's called Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. This whole thing has been leading up to this stupid chair. This episode is called The Iron Throne. And Drogon destroyed it. Now here's something interesting. I don't know how many of you follow me on Twitter. This is not exactly a plug, but before I watched these last 2 episodes, I tweeted out, I'm about to watch the last 2 episodes, and I put, I hope Daenerys ends up on the Iron Throne, because this was before she went mad, basically, and burned King's Landing. I secretly hope that Bronn ends up on the Iron Throne, because I thought that'd just be funny. Like, all this, I'm pretty sure I said that, too. It's like, well, all of this, they keep offering Bronn more and more and more and more, and then he just becomes the king. So that didn't happen either. The third thing that I put was I hope that the Iron Throne is accidentally, we have to keep that in there, accidentally melted and is just a goo. Well, it was on purpose. Drogon melted it down. But I was right about that. How did I do that? I thought that was going to be a joke. It's like, oh, well, Daenerys and all her flying around burning things, she accidentally melted the Iron Throne into a goo. Not exactly how it happened, but the Iron Throne was melted into a goo. Of all the things that could have happened, why, oh why, did it become goo? Why did that stupid theory that I had actually happen? Why? Of all the things. And remember, this is before episode 5 that I predicted this stuff. So if she did get the Iron Throne, and she was sane, I would have been happy. If Bronn had gotten it, that would have just been funny. How did I do that? Why? Of all the theories that could have happened, why my stupid goo theory? Why my stupid goo theory? Oh, it's gonna be the name of that's gonna be the name of my next band. My stupid goo theory. I say next band. I've never been in a band. Not a musician. It's not a very good song, is it? My stupid goo theory. Can we hashtag that? Can I hashtag? I need to remember. Will I remember? I'm not gonna remember. Maybe I remember to put it up here. I'm definitely putting it in the description or in the tags. We are going to put this as a hashtag. Hashtag my stupid goo theory. We still have a lot to talk about. Drogon just grabbed Dany and left. He is Audi 5000. He's just like, you know what? We should have never come here. I'm gonna go. I'll take her with me. He can't burn her. What is he going to do with her? He just peaced out. He's like, all right, well, fuck. He was like, you know what? Fuck your chair. I'm leaving. Bye. Fuck your chair. Fuck you. I'm gonna grab my mother and I'm gonna go. Bye. Poor Drogon. Last of his kind now. And then, we almost had a democracy. Almost. Good on Sam, though, for doing that. First off, the Unsullied took King's Landing. Well, they had King's Landing, that's the thing. I'm so worried one of these days I'm gonna blow out my mic in these videos. Oh god, I hope not. But since the Unsullied already had King's Landing, they just kept it and they imprisoned Jon for killing Daenerys. Interesting they didn't just kill him, but they did invite... That's the interesting thing. Grey Worm invited all the Lords of Westeros to the Dragon Pit to discuss what would happen next. And Sam, they were like, okay, well, we need a new king. And Sam tried implementing a democracy, but that didn't work. You can't just implement a democracy. Well, I mean, America did, but that's a different point. We almost had that, but whatever. But the Lords were basically going to decide a new king. And it makes sense that one of them tried volunteering themselves. Friggin' Edmure, though. Why on earth did Edmure think that he should be the king? Moron. And then I thought it would be Gendry. I mean, obviously, he doesn't even know how to... He doesn't know how to be a lord. He barely knows how to use a fork. But he is a Baratheon. And it makes sense, Yara not wanting to really choose because... Or, Yara not happy about everything because, she pledged to Queen Daenerys Targaryen. But then we got stories. And Tyrion made Bran the king. Which I never thought would be the case. Because, the thing is, as the Three-Eyed Raven, it's like, well, his whole thing was he has to defeat the Night King. What does he do after that? He said he's no longer Brandon Stark. He can't be Lord of Winterfell, but now he is King Bran the Broken. King Brandon Stark. That's pretty interesting. And they all went for it. All the lords said aye. And Davos, which was funny. I like that. It's like, I don't think I get a vote, but aye. It's like, yeah, House Seaworth. It's like, well, he's gonna be now that he's on the small council, but we'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, King Bran. But he will only be the king of the 6 kingdoms, as the North will be free and independent. Which is so interesting, Sansa's saying it's like the Northerners will never bow again. Even to a Northern king? That's the thing. They won't even bow to a Northern king. The last trueborn son of Eddard Stark. But Bran accepted it. And then... So yeah, the North will be a free and independent state, while the remaining 6 kingdoms will be ruled by Bran the Broken. Okay. And Jon, kind of like Jaime, honestly, has to pay. Now, Jaime, when he killed Aerys, he had to be pardoned because he did commit a crime by killing his king. He had to... he did have to pay the price, but he was pardoned by Robert Baratheon. However, the situation is different, as the Unsullied would not accept Jon's pardon. Which makes sense, because they don't, after everything that's happened, they don't want to be enemies of the Unsullied. So, as punishment for killing Queen Daenerys Targaryen, Jon is sent to the Night's Watch. Which I don't think is going to be at Castle Black anymore. It's more just north of the Wall now. So Jon has been sentenced to the Night's Watch, which is just ironic. That after everything that's happened, everything, down to him being Aegon Targaryen, 6th of his name, doesn't matter. He's gonna be in the Night's Watch and he is not the king. That's the craziest thing of all of this, is that I figured, okay, if Daenerys cannot be the queen, then Jon must have to be the king then. This is going to end with Jon on the Iron Throne. But nope, because the wheel is broken. The wheel is broken. And that includes House Targaryen. The Targaryens cannot return. Yes, the Baratheons can return through Gendry. The Lannisters can technically survive through Tyrion. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The wheel is broken. I like that once Bran became king, which he saw it coming, he got a little bit of emotion back. Like, now he is someone again. Because, this whole time of him being the Three-Eyed Raven, he's been so unemotional. But he knew that Tyrion would choose him as the new king. And that's why he went to King's Landing and the Dragon Pits. He went there because he knew this would happen. And he took it, and he's happy, pretty much. At the end there, when it's like they're all saying, long may he reign, and they're all like out of sync and stuff. And Tyrion's like, that will get better. And Bran's being wheeled away, and he's just kind of, he's smiling, and he's just like, I'm sure it will. It's like, that's cool. He kind of got himself back. Because now he can no longer just be the Three-Eyed Raven, but he is also King Bran the Broken. I never in a million years did I ever think, oh yeah, we're going to end this show with Brandon Stark as the king. No! I never thought that! But Jon was sent to the Night's Watch. The Unsullied are leaving. They're just like, alright, we're done with all of you. Killed our queen, we're leaving. And they're going to Noth. Which I thought was Narth, but it's just Noth with 2 A's, and they just say it weird because they have accents. But he's going to Noth to be, probably to go to the beaches and remembers his girl, remember Missandei. Arya's going west. That's what she said. That's what she told Lady Crane all that time ago in season 6. See, that's the thing, is I remember all this stuff because, the stuff with Lady Crane, I watched that just 2 weeks ago. Because basically, I've been marathon recording from the end of season 5 to now. So Arya's going west of Westeros. What is west of Westeros? I don't know. I've heard that there will not be a sequel to Game of Thrones. There will be spin-offs, but There will not be sequels. Man, I kind of want to know what's west. I don't know. We got that small council scene with Tyrion. Tyrion now Hand of the King again. Third time. Third monarch he has been the hand of. He was the hand of Joffrey. He was the hand of Joffrey due to Tywin. He was hand of the queen to Daenerys Targaryen, and now he is hand of the king to Bran the Broken. That's amazing. And Varys always said, Tyrion may be one of the best people to save the realm. He's brilliant. He commands a lot of respect. He has the right last name. He is living up to what Varys wanted. It's just that Daenerys did not live up to what Varys wanted. Perhaps Bran will, though. I imagine Bran will. That's the thing, is you want to talk about peace. I think there will be peace in the Seven Kingdoms now. 6 under Bran, 1 under Sansa. But yeah. But Bronn, the Lord of Highgarden and Master of Coin, I do like that. I think that's really cool. He was paid in full after all this time. Davos of House Seaworth is the Master of Ships, which really makes sense. Brienne, Sir Brienne, is Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Samwell Tarly is Grand Maester of King's Landing, which is awesome. Bran did say they were missing, a couple positions. Master of War, I think, was one of them. I don't remember what the other 2 were, but yeah. I like the book at the end showing, what's this? It's a history of the war since the death of Robert Baratheon. And it's titled A Song of Ice and Fire. That's so meta. I love it. I really do love it. It makes sense that they're also still concerned about Drogon being out and about on his own. And, so Bran was saying, all right, well, do we know anything about where Drogon went? And, Sam says, well, it's somewhere in the east. And Bronn basically cut him off, saying, farther away the better. And I like that Bran was well, maybe I can help find him. Because he can warg. If he can warg and find Drogon, that would be interesting. But I don't know, man. You kind of need to just leave him be at this point. I think he's just a wild beast now, with no mother and no brothers. And then we had our parting of the ways. Jon going to the Night's Watch, Arya going west, Sansa being proclaimed the Queen of the North, which is pretty cool. Sansa Stark, the Queen of the North. I like that. I really do like that. And Bran staying at King's Landing to be the king. And you know what? I'm satisfied with that. It sucks what happened to my favorite character, to Daenerys, my queen. But with what happened, with everything that happened, with the new reign of King Bran the Broken, I can live with that. Because I thought, well, we're going to have to kill Daenerys, and Jon will be the king, as King Aegon Targaryen, 6th of his name. But they didn't go that route. Jon did not become the king, but instead Bran. And I'm alright with that. And that's the end of Game of Thrones. Well, normally I say I'm curious to see where we go from here. Can't really say that about a show that ended, but I am curious to see where the books will go. I don't know. We'll see. Definitely, when I can, most likely when I'm out of college, first book I read will be A Song of Ice and Fire, A Game of Thrones. This has been a year of my life. For others, it's been a lot more. But this has been a great year of a great show with a great ending, I will say. Yes, I did have... It was heartbreaking to see what they did with Daenerys. But I'm satisfied. I like this season. I think this season worked. And I think this was a fitting end to the Game of Thrones. Yeah, this was an amazing show that I will never forget. And once season 8 comes out, definitely gonna get that DVD. This is so weird. I can't believe it's over. But it is. Show's over, folks. This has been amazing. When I started this episode, I was heartbroken over Daenerys, and I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I came on here and I was like, oh, fuck you for voting for this, but thank you, all of you. Without you guys, I probably would never have watched this, but because of this, because of doing reactions, and because you voted for it, last June, I watched an amazing show from start to finish. And now it's over. And now my watch has ended. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to go back and rewatch all of my Game of Thrones reactions, you crazy bastards, you can head over to the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.